evening, everyone. Okay, so I am on the iLLM-LPC, which is a joint legal practice course and masters in the UK. After this course, I'll be technically qualified, but I can't start practicing until I land a training contract. Sorry, I used to be on the bar, and you need a pupillage for the bar, you need a training contract for the LPC. For those of you Americans or non-UK viewers, in England, there are two types of lawyers. There are barristers, there are solicitors. They do different things. Barristers are purely litigation. Often they are hired by lawyers to go to court and fight cases. There are some courts where solicitors cannot litigate in, and barristers can litigate everywhere. But solicitors can have rights of audience because they just have to take this thing, and then they can have rights of audience to go to court and fight cases. But solicitors are general attorneys. They work in a law firm. They have a salary. There's a lot more job stability with solicitors. For every LPC grad, every year, there's a lot more training contracts available because law firms are everywhere. Pupillage, the bar, that's a much more difficult route to take. For every 1,500 bar graduates every year, there's only like 500 or less pupillages available, and you can be going years and working at McDonald's and flipping burgers being bar qualified because you can't find a pupillage and therefore you can't practice. So these pupillages and training contracts, they are vital. They're the next step you need in order to be practicing, in order to really qualify. So it's not so straightforward in the UK as it is in America. In America, it's like, okay, once you finish your law degree, you take your bar exam, boom, you're done. All you have to do is just get a job with a firm. There's a lot of steps that you have to take in the UK. And even with, I have two law degrees. And even when I finished my degrees and I had these, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't just apply and practice. I had to get qualified. So you're not qualified. You have qualifying degrees. You have a qualifying law degree, but you're not qualified to practice until you get your LPC or your bar. And then after that, you still have to have your training contract or your pupillage. So there's a lot of steps involved with law, and people have a hard time understanding that until you break it down for them. I'm on this course now, and I'm sorry to those of you who asked me to do some law school related videos and things like that. Just to be clear, the LPC, the bar, it's not law school, they're professional courses. It's after you've finished law school. Everyone on these courses already has their law degree or two or whatever. They've already graduated from law school. They've already finished their degrees. And these courses are to qualify them, to train them on how to be a barrister or how to be a solicitor. So I was on the bar. If you had watched my videos from a couple years ago, I was on the BPTC at City, University of London. That's where I also did my GDL. I also have my LLB. I want to speak about my experiences and the differences between them because I'm one of few. I know there are other people who've done both, but there are not that many. People usually choose one route. Or sometimes you get barristers who need to make more money and then they'll do the LPC. There's the problem with the English system. So many barristers aren't making enough money. Too many lawyers, not enough positions available. Too many starving lawyers, basically. It took me, people are like, why did it take you so long to qualify? I'm in my 30s and I'm just getting my together now. There's a part of me that's like, I wish I got my shit there earlier. Some people figure their lives out by the time they're 25, and that's great, but it's not like that for everyone. And I think it sucks because you beat yourself up and you feel all this guilt and shame because you're not where you should have been if you did everything immediately after high school, immediately after, I worked in between and I moved around and I wasn't ready and all these things. But I'm ready now. And we live to be nearly 100 now. So I'm still young and I want to live my best life, and I'm doing things at my own pace, and I'm doing things when I'm mentally ready, and I don't have any regrets. I'm not going to be one of those people who wasted their 20s away because I had fun and I lived life, and I'm not going to die regretting that I didn't, really have my fun, and I did. And now that I am all adulting now and I'm getting on my feet, I really want to do this, and I'm really excited. I am. And I'm really enjoying the LPC. I like it more than the bar, but I'm not sure if it's because I'm mentally in the right place now. I'm in a really good mindset right now for school. But there's more pressure with the they're both a lot of pressure, but the bar, you feel pressure like towards the end of the year where everything accumulates. But with the LPC, we have 4 submissions, 4 different topics. Altogether, we have more topics, but this is the way they've structured the course. So the rest of the topics come later on and throughout the year. Electives come in the second half. But right now, we have civil litigation, we have taxation, numbers, we have property law in practice, and we have business law in practice. So you notice that it's an end practice. So this is not like property law for those of you law students who know property law. It's not like property law and business law. It's not the law side of it. It's the application of it and how to do the particulars of claim and the claim forms and the defense, how to write it, the dynamics in a law firm. So we're giving scenarios like every week and a half, we have to hand in 4 submissions. It's a lot of work. And I can say, oh my God, I hate it because it's so much. The bar doesn't do that. The bar, you're going to classes. I mean, there's no distance learning with the bar, so I couldn't have done the bar from Vegas anyway. But from what I remember, we've got classes and you're going all the time. And you have workshops. So you have to do the workshops, but you don't have I don't remember ever having 4 submissions, boom, boom, boom. It's very, the bar, it is like a bar school. You're training and you have these scenarios, but it felt more like school, even though it was a professional course. I guess because of the classroom atmosphere and the other students, and you didn't have such a regimented, it was like we had these classes and these workshops and you had to hand things in. This feels like you're already, obviously I'm not working in a law firm, but the scenario, it's like they just plop you in there. And then you've got these tasks. You've got tasks every week and a half. And you have to submit 4 every time. And they're in 4 different subjects, the ones I told you about. And even though they're not graded, you have to do them. The tutors will email me and be like, what's up? Why haven't you? You know what I mean? And I still have not managed to submit all 4 in at the same time. And some of the ones I have done, I was not able to finish because it's been really difficult with my sleep schedule being in Vegas. I sleep in the day, I work at night. I didn't think I would have this, and I barely work. I'm working once to twice a week, if that. And I didn't think I would have struggled this much. I'm not like, oh my God, I'm struggling, I don't understand it. Like, I understand it and I'm finding it interesting, and I'm doing a lot more studying and reading and focusing than I ever did when I was on the bar. For some reason, when I'm going to class, it gives you a false sense of security. Like, oh, I'm in class, but half the time I was asleep, not paying attention. And then you're like, oh yeah, I went to class. And then I wouldn't even look at my work. Like, I had really bad habits like that. But the fact that I'm in a different country and they put so much pressure on us to hand these submissions in, I'm like shitting myself. I'm like nervous and on edge. I feel the pressure, and I'm staying up all hours to get these things done, even if they're kind of crap and they're not perfect. So the scenarios are basically like your fake email, like, oh, you're a trainee solicitor, your supervising solicitor is so-and-so, he's left you an email and a case file and or this and that, these documents, and you have to go through them, and basically there's instructions. There's always instructions as a solicitor, right? So they put you in the scenario, an exact like replica. They replicate what it would be like if you were actually a trainee solicitor in a firm. What you would have to do. Can you please draft this? Can you please write a memorandum? Can you please write a letter, an email? And there are technicalities and specific ways. It's not just writing an email or a memo. There's a strict way that lawyers have to do these things. That's why we have a book showing us like the order and the structure. We have to use and the language. Okay, let me tell you this. Everything that you knew from law school and how to write your flowery legalese, jargoned up essays, you drop all of that when you're doing the bar and LPC. They don't like that anymore. Your clients need to understand you. So all this time you are refining and honing your skills and your legal mind and your beautiful flowery legal language when you're in law school. That's great, because between each other we can indulge in our very exclusive legal world and what we share with each other. But your clients need to understand you, and the less flowery and legal language that you use, no Latin, no none of that. You cannot write these letters and these emails and anything you're drafting, any document that you need to draft. You need to use plain, basic, concise English, but it also has to be professional. You can't just be so colloquial and just write however you want to write. So there's this medium as a law graduate that you need to understand and that you need to learn, so that you don't come across, you're not so colloquial that you sound like a layperson. So this is what I'm learning right now. And it is very interesting. And the books are really good. I'm really enjoying these books. You can see them all here. Really, really good books. Again, for those of you who don't know, I am at the University of Law, previously known as the College of Law. Very, very reputable, one of the best professional law schools in England. So I'm actually considering 100% on moving back with my parents because of the amount of work. And it's going to get more intense. And I really want to be able to focus 100%. I do like working while I'm in school, but I also have to be realistic with myself. Because of the time difference, I'm 8 hours behind the UK. I'm finding that because of my sleep schedule and the way my body clock is, days blur for me. And I have to hand in. Sometimes I'm last minute handing things in and finishing my documents and submissions. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to hand it in by 4 a.m. because 4 a.m. is 12 p.m. in England, and the cutoff like deadline time. And I really, really want to do well. I'm aiming for distinction. I know but I really need to work my ass off for this. I think they are understanding for now if you don't get them all in. I mean, I'm not the only person. We have this, and I know that doesn't justify it, but we have this group text between us, and we're all messaging sometimes now and then, but everyone's pretty good to not like blow up your phone and message a million times a day. We're all very busy, but we have mentioned how hectic some of it is, and we all have jobs and other things we're doing, and to have 4 submissions, and you have to do your best to make it look as professional as possible, because that's the scenario. So that's what it's like. You are a trainee solicitor and you are given scenarios and tasks and submissions. They expect you to produce professional, at least as professional as you can be, level work. So we have a lot of guides and books, things to teach us how to do these things. Some of it is the taxation is a bit difficult for us. Most lawyers just do not do math. I hate numbers. When I see numbers, I just tense up. I'm just like, oh my God. Even though it's not like difficult math, having to do numbers when you're doing law calculations, it's like I don't have room in my brain. I had to work out like 3-4 times with taxation. It's not just taxes, but you have to know which amounts and which, like with expenditures and things, you have to know where they belong, whether or not to add it in, what category these things belong in. And it's not just numbers. You have an amount, but as a lawyer, you have to know, does this amount fall under this category, or does it fall under the other category? So you have to go back into law and rules and see. And sometimes it depends on timing and things like that. It gets very complex. That's why we tense all up. It's not just a number and you're adding it. This number has meaning behind it. What kind of money is it? Where is it from? What's it being spent on? What are the rules? When was the contract? How does it go in with everything? It's just all connected. I will be doing a video soon about my studies and things like that, and I'm going to go into details and show you guys. But I just wanted to have a one-on-one chat with you guys, especially ones who are also doing the LPC or the LLM or the same joint thing as me, and reach out to you guys and tell you what I'm doing right now. But that's my life right now. Please do leave a comment. I would love to hear from any of you. It's so isolating when you're doing these courses, and all of my fellow lawyers and law students alike will understand. But anyways, I wish you a very good night. It's evening now, or good day. Wish you a very, what am I trying to say? I wish you a very productive study week for those of you in the same boat. Bye-bye.